Hey, this is Jai. Today I want to talk to you guys about your life purpose and the importance of being your best self or becoming your highest self. How many times throughout your life have you thought to yourself that you're meant to do more? That you're destined for something greater. That you're just meant to do more than what you're doing now with your life. At some point in our lives, we've all entertained these thoughts, and we've all at least recognized the possibility that we could be doing more with our lives, that we could be better in some way. And the interesting thing is that although we've all had these thoughts, very few people actually act on them and do anything about it. How many people do you know who say they hate their job, but they just don't do anything about it? Or they say, I hate my job, I wish I could be doing this, I'd rather be doing this, and they just don't do anything. Same goes with entrepreneurs as well. How many people do you know who say, I want to be an entrepreneur, I want to run my own business, I'm tired of having a boss, but they never actually take action and do it? A couple days ago, I met a woman who was in her 50s, and she worked in a little pet store, and she worked 9 to 5 every day, and she said, if I could do anything, I would work in a bakery. That was her dream. Her dream was to work in a bakery and be a baker, and she wanted to get right up close with the dough. She wanted to have her elbows in the dough, and that's really something she was passionate about. So I asked her, why are you not doing it? And she kind of froze and didn't really give me an answer. I don't really have the money, don't really have the time. And if you think about it, a lot of people are like that. So lately I've been reading a lot of Nietzsche, and specifically his book, Thus Spoke Zarathustra, which is probably his most creative and poetic of works. And in that book, Nietzsche calls out humanity. He calls us out on our mediocrity and our averageness and our general mundaneness, and says that we should strive for something more. We should strive to be more. And we should have higher values. We should strive to be higher men. And set bigger goals for ourselves and just aim higher than we do. So many people just don't aim high, and as Nietzsche saw it, and he called these people, the just general mass of mediocrity, called them the herd. And it's also in this book that he proclaims his famous imperative, where he says, the only way to live life, the only thing that matters and the only thing that should guide you through your life is to become who you are, or to become what thou art. And what does he mean by this? Well, we're all meant to do something with our lives. So, you have to figure out what you're meant to do with your life and then pursue that. And what usually happens when you do figure out what you want to do with your life and you are pursuing it and you're on your own path and you're setting goals for yourself, when you're on the path to becoming a better version of yourself, what usually happens? Well, according to Nietzsche, usually what happens when you do that is you step outside of the herd. You start leaving the herd. And anyone who steps outside of the herd is going to be criticized by the herd. When you start, if you're a guy and you start becoming better, people start criticizing you and they start trying to hold you back. Your girlfriend, your friends, your parents, society, they all try to hold you back and bring you down slightly. And so the only thing that matters is to just become who you are and not let anyone hold you back. And when you don't become who you are, when you're not on the path to being who you are, that leads to despair. And as another existential philosopher, who was around before Nietzsche, and around the same time, Soren Kierkegaard said, "The most common form of despair is not being who you are." When you're living your life and you're going through life and you're just stuck in a cubicle, you're not being who you are, and because of that, you're going to be in despair. You're going to suffer. So what are you meant to do with your life? Well, I'm not sure what you're meant to do with your life, but I'll tell you what you aren't meant to do. You aren't meant to live someone else's life. You aren't meant to live the life that your parents want you to live, or society wants you to live. You have to discover your own path, and you have to pursue that no matter what. And when you are on the path to becoming who you are, that's when everything in your life just falls into place and everything will become easier. You'll feel as if the entire universe is behind you, propelling you forward. The reason for that is because when you are on the path to being who you are, nothing else matters. Everything in your life will be aligned, and suddenly there's going to be no such thing anymore as right or wrong decisions or good or evil. According to Nietzsche, our morality is based on the herd's morality. The herd, the average mass of people in the society we live in, they dictate what's right or wrong. But when you are your own person, when you have your own path in life, you now set your own values and you don't let society dictate your values for you. So suddenly there are no more values for you. There's nothing you do will be good or bad. You just do. And there's only really two values if you think about it in life. There's your values, which you have to discover for yourself by becoming who you are, and then there's everyone else's values. And you have to live your life according to your values. So when you become who you are, this is literally the answer to all the problems in your life. No longer will you have to worry about bosses. No longer will you worry about people bringing you down. No longer will you worry about your actions, whether or not they are good or bad, or if they fit in or don't fit in. None of those things matter to you anymore. So this leads to the ultimate point of this video. Why do people suffer in life? Why are we depressed? And I believe that we suffer and we are depressed because you don't know yourself. I'm going back to that quote I said earlier that Soren Kierkegaard said, "The most common form of despair is not being who you are." When you aren't being who you are, then you're trying to fit in. Then you're letting society dictate your own values. You're not living your life. You're not giving your gift to the world. You're not offering value. And because of that, you will remain in despair. You will suffer. You will be depressed. Life will be hard for you, and you will continue to make mistakes. So, go out there and discover what you're passionate about. Do things that you're passionate about. Do things that you want to do. Don't do things that your parents want you to do. You have to live your life at the end of the day. So if you guys like this video, please make sure to subscribe and like and leave a comment and let me know what you guys are passionate about. And until next time,